Another
Danny, we're not even
episode.
live yet.
Oh, I thought you said it says this meeting is being live streamed.
I think we're good.
Okay, love you, Daddy.
Love you, baby.
Mwah.
All right, go ahead, Danny.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Inside the GEFA presented by nobody because we could not get a sponsor for this episode. I am Dana Morales, as always, joined by Brent and Thor. How are you guys tonight?
Doing good, Danny.
What's
Awesome.
up, Danny?
Nothing much, nothing much. Just to the viewers out there, happy Jackie Robinson Day. 77 no. Yeah, 77 years ago today, Jackie Robinson broke the MLB color barrier, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the GFA. I'm going to go over the games this week, go over the games last week. Should be a lot of fun. And here is your host, a man that is much better than I, Mr. James Simerson. Take it away, Mr. President.
All right, so we got a good show for you guys today. We're going to be going over the games that were and the games that will be. We got everybody on here. So going into this season so far, how do you guys think things are going?
In what aspect?
Just in general.
Not bad. I mean, better than probably previous years.
It's good football being played.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the thing. Everybody's just playing ball, man. You know what I mean?
That's what I
Like,
was about. Yeah.
there hasn't been, like, last year at this time, man, there was probably crazy suspensions and fines going on. There hasn't been really a whole lot of that this year. You know, little ones here and there, but nothing crazy. So, all in all, I think it's been pretty solid. Long way to go yet. Going on. There hasn't been really a whole lot of that this year. Somebody mute their shit. Going.
Right.
There hasn't been really a whole lot of that this year.
I texted you before I told you.
Somebody had the
Get it.
playback going on.
All right, so let's get into the first game.
I'm the only one that had anything to say.
Apparently, well, Thor's just sitting there.
No, I told you. Good football. Good football.
I had to mute my thing and yell at the kids for screaming up top and let them know I was on the podcast. So my bad.
All right, Thor. So what's your take on things so far this season?
I mean, league wide, I agree with Brent. It doesn't seem like anything too wild's really popped off. I can speak for the 3 games. Well, the 6 games that I've been at this year. The 3 that we played in, all the teams that we saw were exceptionally like good hosts. I know going into this week, we expected a lot of potential craziness as far as a good Williamsport Mova matchup usually is, and it was just a good football game. I mean, when it was done, everybody shook hands and went home. And the same when we saw the Warriors. I've seen the Warriors in the past, and I feel like the Warriors sideline and stuff that I saw this year was just way better pulled together and mild mannered. And as a whole, I've enjoyed this year so far.
All right, let's get into the first game. Let's just get it over with. Buffalo's Miners. Miners traveling to the Buffalo, 7 p.m. game, 84-13 Buffaloes.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looked like too on the film. I mean, it was basically a track meet for the Buffaloes right out of the gate. I give the Miners a lot of credit though, man. Those guys balled. I mean, their defense played pretty. I mean, I know they gave up 84 points, but they made some plays out there. They had a couple 4 and outs. I think they had an interception. They probably could have had 3. I think my only real knock from the Buffaloes in that game was the fact that, Levi chucked some passes up over the middle of the field that you're not going to get away with against better teams. So other than that, I mean, it was Buffaloes as usual. But I mean, the Miners, they're figuring it out, man. I mean, their defense, like I said, they made plays. They made a couple plays on offense. I mean, they ran into a juggernaut. And that's kind of what happens.
Yeah, forcing turnovers is huge. I think the Buffalo forced several turnovers just in the first half, and they were able to capitalize on it. I know we see 84 points, but it wasn't necessarily 84 points given up by the Miners defense, because that Buffalo defense was able to score as well. So it sounds like they played a solid game all around.
Brent, you called him a juggernaut.
Who?
You
Buffaloes?
did. Yep.
I mean, right now, Buffaloes are one of the top 3 teams in the league, no doubt about it.
No, I just liked hearing it from you. That's all.
I mean, that's a well-oiled machine right there.
Agreed.
Like I think
I'm just glad somebody else is finally seeing it. That's all.
If their defense is playing, if their defense can pick up their side of the ball and play lights out, obviously they, like I said, the only knock that I had was Levi chucked a couple passes up over the middle of the field that you're not getting away with against better teams. Like, so just, realistically outside of that, that's probably the only knock that I've really seen so far this year. Other than that, it's business as usual for their offense. Ram it down your face, hit you with a little play action pass game, and like pile up points. So, yeah, I mean, right now they are. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I'd just like to hear from somebody else. That's all. I've been saying it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Billy
You've been on
Splain
that.
from PA Football News said the Buffalo defense is their key. They are relentless.
Yeah, they're definitely playing a lot better football this year.
They do have an amazing defense. I cannot lie about that. Their defense is definitely one of the best that I've seen in this league this season, if not the best.
All right,
we'll see here
game. Raptors Comanche. This one was close up to halftime. I think it was 18-14 at halftime, and then it wasn't. Comanche pull away, 32-14 final.
I mean, it's not like they really pulled away though. Like the Raptors just can't get a fluid offensive plan going on. Like it's like their quarterback, their first touchdown I think came on a fumbled snap. He picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. He did throw a nice crossing route for a touchdown. But it's just their offense is struggling. I thought their defense played pretty well, man. I mean, they clamped up, the Comanche passing game. They really weren't able to do shit during the passing game. They really leaned on the run game a lot. That's kind of been the Comanche forte over the years. Like they're gonna run it down your face, and especially in games where they're leading and it's later in the games, they're gonna try to grind out the clock. That's what they do. They have like 3 or 4 running backs. They'll rotate them all in there. Quarterback runs. Like, I mean, they get everybody in there. But yeah, I mean, I think, there were a couple comments from some guys last week in the comment section about the Raptors defense is better than what we were talking about. And I mean, honestly, they went out and they showed that. Like, I mean, the Comanche didn't look great on offense by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like that was kind of, a little bit of a result of how well the Raptors defense played. Like they easily
Comanche have a bunch of new parts.
Yeah. From what I understand, yeah. But they also don't let it kid you. They have a lot of veteran leadership over there.
Yeah. No,
it's a good medley they have. But right, yeah, they do have some new guys.
They got younger. Yeah. some key guys, and this is what their second game, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I'm saying.
So they still got to click yet.
Yeah, they're still trying to get it. Like that's what I'm saying. They just didn't look They didn't look like the Comanche offense that I've been known to see over the last couple of years. Like, it's just not real clean football right now. And I mean, it did sound like it was hella windy out there. I mean, it was what, blowing 30 on Saturday? Tough conditions to throw the ball in. So, but yeah, I mean, Raptors had chances and they just weren't able to take care of it on the offensive side of the ball. And the Comanche do what they do. They're just going to find a way to win the game, up 1 score or up 5 scores. They're going to do what they do. Anybody else? Nothing? All right. Moving on.
All right.
Keep this train rolling.
Next game, Crusaders traveling to the Titans. This one had a wild finish as well. Titans come back to win 20-15. From what I got, I didn't watch the film yet.
Me either.
Late fourth quarter, Crusaders run the kickoff back for a touchdown, set up one final play for a Titans Hail Mary, and it was caught. Titans win.
I was gonna say you only had to watch the last 45 seconds of the film.
Yeah, that's pretty much. But I'm just going by what the Crusaders were telling me. That's a wild.
Where are the
ending.
lines? Where are the lines at? Where's the chain gang, bro? Let's talk about what we really want to talk about.
What do we really want to talk about, Brent?
Where's the field? All I saw was grass. That's what I want to talk about. Let's get some paint, fellas. Get a little string, some paint. You can look it up in the bylaws. First page of the bylaws has the field diagram on it. Tells you exactly what the width is, what the length is from end zone to end zone, back of the end zones, all that. And just mark it out, lay it out. Paint it heavy the first time, then you only got to paint it like every other week.
Yeah, at least the Gorillas had lines. They might not have been straight, but they were there.
That is awesome.
Other than that, man, I mean, hell, Titans are a brand new team. What are they? 2-2 now, I think.
Yep.
I mean, they get wins.
I have to say, this finish is the wildest finish out of any game that I've seen, GEFA or no. Like, that finish was amazing.
Just wait.
Yeah, I didn't see the film, so.
There's better finishes down the line.
You never know, Danny. This is the GEFA.
Somebody didn't watch film.
Crazy shit happens here. Just know with 30 seconds to go in the game, it's still anybody's game.
Unless you are the Miners this week.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get into the last game.
They play.
The game
I'm
of the
sorry,
week.
Miners. I'm sorry.
The game we said that could be a potential Keystone Bowl preview. Vikings traveling to Wildcats. Vikings win 37-35.
Another game with a crazy finish. Go ahead, Thor. Take it away.
What you got for us, Thor?
We expected a great matchup. We went out there. Basically, it was offenses kind of completely opposite in style. I feel like the Wildcats did a really good job just taking advantage of mistakes that opened up for them. I feel like it was definitely the best we had seen out of their quarterback up to this point. Ellis delivered some great throws during the game. Offensively for us, we were able to control the line of scrimmage more, kept the ball more on the ground. Like I said, great back and forth game. Came down to the end. We went down and scored, left some time on the clock. Wildcats got a kick return, returned it deep. They ended up going down and scoring and tying the game. It came down to a conversion. There was a flag thrown by an official. A shout out to Aaron Stoner. Aaron came out, talked to the official. We replayed the conversion. They ended up bobbling the snap. Zach Coy got a hold of it, ran it back. So they tried an onside kick. We got the ball, nailed it out. But it was a great game.
It was a hell of a game. I mean, it was pretty much back and forth the entire game. I was going to come on here and give you shit because I thought, at least from watching it on the live, that touchdown pass that LC caught to put them out in front, I thought you guys were a little closer to the end zone than what you actually were. I was going to be like, why are you playing man right there, man? You're just asking to get burned on that corner out. Shout out to the old head. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game, though. Greg Medina does what Greg Medina does. I did notice you guys ran a lot more this week.
Yep.
A lot of quarterback power, a lot of quarterback sweep.
Why did you guys do the running game this week?
A couple factors. I felt like I had the benefit with my offensive line, and I mean, it was windy. It was windy bad. Throwing the ball one direction was hell. Throwing the ball the other direction, not so bad. We got stuck running against the wind the majority of the time. So things just kind of sorted out how they did and ended up working out.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think Ellis played a lot better this week. And I don't know if it was designed their game plan or whatever, but I think that shorter passing game, that worked out for them. Like he was on, like you said, with a lot of those timing throws. He looked like the rust is coming off. It's exactly what we expected to see, man. Two high caliber teams banging it out. I mean, that's Keystone Bowl preview right there. Right now, as it stands. I mean, until somebody knocks either one of you two out.
That's another question. Can anyone knock these two teams out as of right now?
Any given Saturday. Any given Saturday, anything can happen.
Yeah, somebody mentioned the juggernaut earlier. I won't mention any names though.
Yeah, but hey, they're a juggernaut right now, but they still haven't played Williamsport or the Vikings.
I didn't use that. Well, Danny asked the question. I was just answering Danny.
You gotta establish it.
Don't backpedal now.
I'm not backpedaling.
Okay, come on.
I'm giving you a reasoning.
Deion Sanders over there. Hitting that back pedal.
And then I intercepted it.
You saw what happened when you saw them Buffaloes make them tackles. You saw that boy's helmet go up in the air. Careful running with that rock.
That was a solid stick.
Yeah, it was. He hurt himself.
Yeah, he definitely went to the sideline after that play. Whew. That was a good.
Luke said neither of those two teams played a solid defense yet.
True story. True story. Not going to argue that point. I mean, Wilkes-Barre is not that bad of a defense, though, to be honest. So,
Wait,
at least
say that again, James? The Vikings and the Wildcats haven't played a good defense? Is that what you said?
Haven't played a solid defense yet.
Defense is top defense.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I don't usually say stuff like this, but the Vikings defense is pretty good.
Yeah. True story.
That is very uncharacteristic of you, Vinny.
Well, yeah, we got Brent calling the Buffaloes juggernauts. Everything's going crazy here. Damn Eclipse hit and everybody lost their mind. Some of us just present it better than others.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's get into next week's games. All right. Buffaloes at Titans.
I mean, Buffaloes 70 to
Both
13.
teams are pretty run heavy.
I say the juggernaut 70 to 13.
I think it's going to be hard to stop the Buffaloes. I don't think the Titans have what it takes to stop the Buffaloes. I'll take the Buffaloes, although I'll be a little bit closer. Let's do 70 to 25.
It's going to be
No,
so
no,
hard.
hold up. You were just talking about how their defense is the best in the league, and now you gave them 25.
Like you said, any given Saturday.
You just learned that
Yeah, I don't know.
phrase, and now you're using it.
Here's the problem. The Buffaloes might get tired because with no lines on the field, they're just going to keep running.
Oh
And
yeah.
not know where to stop. Not know where to stop. We'll go
Run all the way back
makes
to Bedford.
Yep. Just running all the way back.
Where the hell
So what do you
is
think? So what do you think the score is going to be, Vinny? Knowing that, what do you think the score is going to be?
It's going to be a lot to 0. I just don't know how much. Let's go 68-0.
Buffaloes.
Well,
Is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's a
All
good
right,
seg,
Thor, what do you think?
I'm going 58-12 Buffaloes.
So it's a clean sweep. We all think the Buffaloes.
All right, next game. Crusaders traveling to the Nightmare.
Are you keeping track of these picks, James? How far behind am I? Because I know I've been jumping off cliffs already. This might be another one now.
You were out of it since week 1, so I just
Yeah, I kind of figured.
we
Well,
put a
screw it. I'm going to
nurseable
keep
after
going.
week 1.
How am I doing picks wise, James?
Awful.
What?
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Crusaders haven't won yet, correct?
Correct.
No, I think they've only played what, 1 game, 2 games now.
2. Have the
games.
Nightmare won?
Yeah, they won their first game of the year.
Yeah.
On the road, like 6 hours away.
And then they had the Warriors after that.
Yeah. After the Warriors lost their first 2 games, so they had a pissed off Warriors team too.
Crusaders 22-12.
Wow, you're crazy.
Crusaders 22-12.
You're crazy.
I'm
How could
thinking
you say Vinny's given up without actually saying it?
I'm thinking Nightmare 34-18.
Nightmare had a bye week. That's a long trip for the Crusaders.
I don't know. I think Crusaders.
You know the Nightmare's going to be coming.
Let's just say Crusaders 38-35. Because I genuinely don't know who's going to win this game.
Nightmare's going to win this game 42-16.
Vinny, I'd ask you to do the howl, but I just feel bad for you right now. So I'm just
I just saw Aaron just commented, Vinny, don't do that, bro. Trust me. I'm replying right now. It's been done.
That's awful.
Can't take it back now. No turning back.
Vinny's picks are on life alert.
That's what I said. I'm
More
already
like
out of it. Might as well have some fun with it.
They're flatlining.
More like they've
point.
fallen and can't get up. Y'all remember those old commercials?
Yeah.
That's what his picks are.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
to the
I
next
swear to
one.
God, if the Crusaders win, you better not let me on next week. I swear to God, if the Crusaders win.
I picked the Crusaders along with you, so if
I'm
the
with you,
Crusaders
Danny.
win, I'm boycotting with you.
If the Crusaders win next week, Justin and Brandon McNulty need to be front and center. We got some explaining to do.
They'll be outside smoking cigarettes with Billy in no time.
All right, Vikings or no, Warriors at Raptors, 4:00 game.
Okay, so
I mean, on this one, like you gotta ask, like, what's going on with the Raptors? Like, they had like a lot of, I don't know, it seemed like they had a lot of promise, and then they got stampeded by the Buffaloes in week 0. And now every week it's someone new wants to leave the team, and they're releasing some cancers and that, and it's just.
Well, I mean, I think that's good management if they're getting rid of
Right.
guys that are cancers.
Right.
I mean, that's how you build a solid program. I mean, as far as the rest of it, like I said earlier, man, we got questioned last week about, their defense. And, I think most of us were on this podcast were wrong about what we said. Like, their defense actually played pretty solid. Like, I think their main struggle is on the offensive side of the ball. Like, they don't have really, not that they don't have any playmakers. It's just they haven't made any plays. You know what I mean? Like, they make one or two and that's it. But it's like, you can't do that against quality teams. You're just going to get run over. Like, especially with your defense out there balling, giving you turnovers, giving you 4 and outs, and you don't do nothing but go 4 and out yourself and punt the ball. Like, you need to capitalize. So I think that's their biggest problem, is just finding an identity on offense and something that you can go to regularly and work with that's going to be consistent, and not just kind of like, praying that this play works or the next play works. Because right now, I just think they're searching and they haven't found anything that's kind of like working for them right now.
Did they find it this week?
No. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for them, the Warriors had a bye week. They're well rested. They're well prepared for this game. They had 2 weeks to get ready. I'm sure they watched the game last week against the Comanche, even though it's at the Raptors' house, and until they prove that they can consistently put something together on offense. I mean, it's the Warriors.
So you've got the Warriors.
22.
All right. So a couple weeks ago, if y'all remember correctly, I said if the Warriors won their last game, because they were winless at the time, I would pick the Warriors to win this next game. I am sticking with that. I'm saying Warriors 58-40.
40.
I don't know. It's just random. I don't know.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead. I'm picking the Warriors here. I'm going 46-16.
Warriors
Danny,
48.
we gotta talk about that 40, man. Like, I don't think the Raptors have scored 40 this whole season combined. They've had a very anemic offense, and
I knew it was wrong as soon as I said it.
Yeah, Danny, tell him if you're not picking, I don't want to hear it. Make a pick, or don't tell me about mine.
Hey, I can't. He is the president. He can do whatever he wants.
Yes, you can.
I cannot talk against him.
You do more moderating.
Dude, I do not run this show. If
you do more moderating,
I'll tell you this. If I ran this show, we'd be talking about the NFL draft right about now, or the WNBA draft, which is going on right now. We would not be talking about this. But I don't run this show. So, James, are you going to pick, or are you just going to criticize my pick?
All right.
Okay, so you're just going to criticize my pick. All right.
You NBA.
Oh, you hurt Thor's head.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have the draft going on as we speak.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That is the most nonchalant cool ever. It's
fantastic.
He was like, cool.
All right,
what's
let's
next,
move
Mr.
on to the
President?
last one. Since we got 6 teams on a bye week again this week. Comanche at Vikings, 2:00 game.
Are we
Comanche
no
at
longer
the
talking
Vikings.
about T-shirts? Like, is the T-shirt thing officially dead?
Yeah, I think we're past that era of Comanche football at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. Thor doesn't look like Thor might not be over it.
I don't think they played.
Biting his lip.
You guys haven't played each other for a little bit.
We played last season.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I thought I didn't think you guys played last season. I thought it was the year before.
Yeah,
All
we
right, my
played
bad.
out last year.
Because I know they moved over to the Valley. Wasn't sure. Man, Comanche always seemed to have the Vikings number. Last couple times. Well, I don't know about you. Got them last year?
Yeah.
Oh wow, shit.
Wow.
My bad. My bad. He's super offended that I asked that question.
And the time before that, I put a ring on my finger, so I don't want to hear shit about a couple. But go ahead.
Yeah, yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. My bad. That's why I give it to you on this one. uh, let's
Vikings
go.
52-30. 2 scores.
Comanche defense usually plays pretty good. So I'm going to say 48-20 Vikings.
Yeah, it's always a hell of a game between the two of us. Of course,
Oh,
I'm picking
absolutely. Absolutely.
some of the most epic
Wait.
games. Our triple overtime game in like 2019 at their field, still one of the most epic games I've ever seen.
There has been some
You got-
very memorable Viking
you-
Comanche moments.
You guys
I
had
must
some
say.
barn burners. You guys had some barn burners for even a conference championship game up there, up in your house before.
Yep.
It came down to like
Where's
the
this
last
one at?
score or something. It's not the Vikings.
Is it
At Mo
yeah,
Shannon Valley.
the Viking faithful going to be fired up?
It's
Oh,
our
yeah.
first,
Legions going to be rocking.
Cowbells galore. First
Yeah.
home game.
first
They'll
home
be
game.
tailgating and everything.
Oh yeah, they're probably already out there. Cars are in the field already.
Yeah, those people are legit. I'll
Definitely
never
the best
forget
fan
that game
base
we
in
rolled
the-
up
yeah.
to and they were tailgating in the parking lot. I was like, yo, that's
Yeah. So when we went out there, Thor, was it the championship game you hosted? Yeah. Yeah, there were Viking fans there. I'm walking, they're like, "Yo, there he is!" I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, yo, get me up to the booth.
cut him
Like,
down.
oh, get him!
Yeah, it gets wild out there in MOBA.
Vinny
Get ready
always
for
makes
the
an
long
impression
third
no matter
quarter.
where he goes.
What'd you say, James?
I said you always make an impression no matter where you go.
I don't know. They don't like me. I don't know why.
Duke says 30-24 Vikings.
I'll
a good
say
one.
30.
One score game.
I'll pump up the other one. 30 to I don't know. 30-20 Vikings. Let's make it interesting.
30-20, huh?
30-20. Even 50.
Even 50.
Even 50 burger.
Everybody pick on that one?
Yeah.
Yep. Think it was Vikings on a clean sweep.
All right, so Vinny, say you're Monk. What do you think your keys are to win this game?
To what? Beat the Vikings? You gotta block them up front. First of all, you gotta not get blocked by them up front. Second of all, and their quarterback play went through the ceiling. It's just not going to happen. Stay home.
Damn.
No, it is. It comes down to the
Damn.
trenches, and the Vikings got one of the best O line and D lines in the league. So
All right, Brent, same question for you. If you're the Vikings, what do they have to do to win this game? What's their keys?
Dominate line of scrimmage. Don't turn the ball over. Establish a run game. Everything else will take care of itself.
You taking notes, Thor?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. I mean, I'd say that's probably one of the big keys for the Comanche too. I mean, if they can get a few turnovers and capitalize off of those, could be a different story up there. But you got to capitalize on them. You got to get them, then capitalize on them, I should say. But usually anybody that wins the turnover battle wins the game.
I think the Wildcats were supposed to be playing the Mustangs this week, but that got bumped out to Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, that's brutal. Why?
I don't.
Oof, man. That's a tough one. That probably would have been a hell of a game too, actually.
You don't know why it got moved?
No, I don't.
No, I certainly don't. I was if anybody.
Oh, I
knows,
don't know.
it's
You
guys.
said that like
Yeah.
you were asking me, like, oh, you don't know why.
No, I was more so. No, I was just. I'm surprised. Like if anybody knows, it's the man in the top center. That's why I was like, you don't know what.
Nope, sure don't.
All right, now before we go, let's go over. I'll let you guys say your top 5 power rankings.
Number 1, Buffalo. Number 2, everybody else.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's like spawn
Okay.
of Vinny here.
I was gonna say I'm a
Okay.
huge supporter, but I don't know if that's the way I'm going, Danny. Good Lord.
Man,
Top 5.
That's a loaded
Top
question with
5.
only some
Top
teams
5.
playing 2 games.
In my eyes, nobody comes even close to the Buffaloes this year. Not so far.
So Vikings, Buffaloes, Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a given. Those 3 are the given ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
That's what I'm saying. It's tough to pick after that
4
because
and
I feel
5.
like the Warriors.
Who really?
I feel like the
nobody's
Warriors are a
shown
pretty
it.
good football team. I feel
But
like
they're
the
1 and
Comanche
1.
are a pretty good football team. The Mustangs look like a pretty good football team right now. Hell, I mean the Nightmare are 1 and 1. They're about to play their 3rd game, so they could be 2 and 1 after this week.
Or 1 and 2. Just saying.
Or one. Yeah, I mean realistically, yeah, but I'm just saying in general, like
I'm just.
and then it's like, I mean, who the hell knows?
There's such a big gap from that point on.
Couple
You got to go
question marks?
Warriors, Comanche, or Comanche, like no particular order. Warriors, Comanche. You have to because that's the only thing you know.
I'd throw the Mustangs in there. I think the Mustangs are what, 2 and 1?
Who are you take? All right, then who are you taking out?
I'd
that's
probably.
6.
I mean it. That's what I'm saying at this point. Like because the Warriors are 1 and 2, and the Comanche are what are the Comanche 2 and 0 or 1 and 1?
Warriors are 1 and 1, aren't they?
No, they're 1 and 2.
Are they
They,
1 and
lost
1?
the first 2 games of the year. What are the Comanche
Warriors
2 and
are
0?
1 and
week
2.
is it?
Comanche
Oh,
are
damn.
2 and 0. Nightmare are 1 and 1.
Yeah, so
Man,
then
we
it would
got
have to be
teams playing.
Comanche, and then I think the Mustangs are what, 2 and 1?
No, they
James?
didn't play last week.
What?
Yeah, I think they're just 1 and 1.
Oh, they're 1 and
Mustangs are
1.
1 and 1.
Yo, what week is it? What week is it?
That's what I'm saying. Like the schedule's so retarded this year.
Like you
dude.
got
It's
some
like,
teams
I
that
think
play
it's
4 games,
either-
some teams that
games.
play 2.
I
but-
think it's either week 4 or week 5.
which is
Buffalo's
really week
play
5
4.
or week 6. Like, good
It's
lord,
week 4.
Thor. Who did the
It's
schedule?
week
No, I'm
4,
just
okay.
kidding.
A group of us. It's
Well, let's.
odd amount of team. 11.
No, you don't got. You don't got to
that.
do this again.
There's a
We,
lot
we
of
did this dance.
into-
Yeah, no. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, we know
Steve
why the
said you guys
schedule
are
is the way
throwing
it
in the
is. It's
Mustangs
just-
off of nothing.
What'd you say?
Well, I mean, you got to realistically put them in
Kasim
the
said
mix.
you guys
Who
are
else we
throwing
put-
in the
who
Mustangs
else,
for
who
nothing.
else would you put in the mix based off of what?
So you knocked the Warriors out to put the Mustangs in? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I think they're all in the same pool outside of the Comanche because clearly they're 2 and 0. You know what I mean? Like
But
they're
pick
up in
2 out
that
of the
top
3.
5.
Pick 2 out of that 3 though. Who's your 2?
We only need one essentially, but that's what I'm saying.
Pick
you got
2 out of those
You got
3.
2 teams.
Out of the.
You got 2 teams that are 1-1, and one team's 1-2.
All right, so
I mean,
Comanche
hell, you,
are in
you might as well
regardless.
throw the Titans in there because they're 2-1.
They're 2-2.
Stretch, like nothing against the Titans, but I really think it's like there's a group of 3, and who is your 3 there? And then there's a group of 3 for 4, 5, and 6. Who are your 3 there? And then there's another group of 3 right below them.
Right. I think realistically right now you're just looking. You got top 4, and that's the teams that have established themselves pretty much like they do every year.
Well, and ultimately playoffs is 6. So again, that's where I'm looking, not just at 5. I'm looking at 6.
Right.
But I do agree, the Vikings and the Buffaloes and the Wildcats in the top 3, and then you got the Warriors and the Mustangs and the Comanche in the other 3, and we'll see how things sort out. I mean, again, Monk's teams typically get better as the season goes, and they're just getting rolling. So
that's what I'm saying. It's tough to pick it in such a short period of time of who you're looking at your top 5 power rankings based. For the simple fact is not everybody's played the same amount of games either. You got a couple teams that played 2 games, couple of teams that played 3, you got one team that's played 4. So
what you're saying is the Titans are in at 2-1.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're going along those lines, like would they not be in the mix at 2-1? You know what I mean? Like clearly, I mean, Warriors lost to 2 good teams right out of the gate. They lost to the Wildcats and the Vikings. They went on the road, I don't know if they went on the road or not, but they beat the Nightmare.
Yeah,
going into their bye week. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got the Mustangs who they beat. They beat the Miners, right? I think. Was it the Miners?
Yeah, I believe so.
And who they lose to? Buffaloes.
Mustangs beat the Raptors, and they lost.
Buffaloes. That's what I thought. All right. So I mean, they lost to one of the one of the heavy hitters. I mean, I don't really know.
I think they beat the Raptors by 10 points.
Yeah, so it's not like they absolutely blew them out by like 40 or something. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I think I only got 4 right now. I think I want to wait a week or 2 and see how these other teams unfold.
So Kasim brought up a good point. He asked if are we giving credit to the Warriors just because they beat the Nightmare?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean?
Ultimately, that's how it sounds. Yeah,
teams, but I mean, their wins like they beat the Nightmare. You know what I mean? And the Nightmare really haven't proven that they're one of the upper teams in the league. It's not like they went out there and beat the Vikings, who they had an opportunity to beat, or the Wildcats. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's they're unproven.
If they're 2
Mustangs apparently are unproven too. You know what I mean? So who out there? The Nightmare, they're 1-1. They're unproven. They didn't prove it. But I don't. Where's the scale of proving it though? You know what I mean? Do they have to beat the Vikings? Do they have to beat the Buffaloes? Do they have to beat the Comanche or Wildcats? You know what I mean? Is that what the scale is? Is that where, you know what I mean? Beating each other isn't a quality win. I don't know what the parameters, what we're setting for this. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And power rankings and like your playoff standings and stuff are 2 completely different things. Like you do have to look at the 2 teams that they did lose to are 2 of the top 3 teams right now.
So
yeah,
that carries a little bit of weight.
And Raptors.
That definitely carries some merit.
Right. I mean, granted, they only.
And it's not like they got blown out. Like they probably should have won week 0 against the Wildcats. They blew that lead.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they had chances against the Vikings to be in that game, and they just didn't execute. Like I saw it in person. So it's not like they couldn't have potentially be 3-0 right now had they just finished the job and executed week 0 and week 1.
I agree with most of it. That is a hell of a stretch, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, you're biased. You're going to say that. I wouldn't expect you to have a different opinion other than, yeah, they're not going to beat us. I mean, I wouldn't say any different either if they were playing my team. But they did have opportunities where they could have scored points and at least, been on the doorstep of maybe pulling one out in that game. It's not like you guys were blowing them out.
I absolutely saw great things in the Warriors. There's no doubt about that. And like in the Wildcats game, we saw them up. Things just kind of fizzled out and fell apart in the first in that second half. But again, it was the first game of the year. But again, you can compare things like Wildcats. They beat the Miners, but they beat the Warriors. If you're saying the Warriors aren't good, then have the Wildcats beat anybody good? It's like, I think the fact that I think that it's the fact that, like, we see them play in tight games with the teams that we're saying are good. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's got to count for something, because the Warriors weren't a cakewalk for anybody.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, it's just tough to measure that, because it's like, what do you deem quality and not quality?
Right.
Like, because all these teams are going to have to play each other eventually, and it'll sort itself out. But right now, it's tough to tell, because their wins aren't against, super quality opponents. Like I said, it's not against like the upper top 4 or 5 teams of the league. So it's tough to really say, like, hey, this team should be ranked ahead of this team, or vice versa. I mean, realistically, I see 4 right now. And honestly, like, I see 3, and the Comanche are definitely on the outside of that, of being in that group. Like, their defense is solid, but their offense seems to have struggled the last 2 weeks early in the season. That's why it's a tough ask. I mean, I wouldn't expect 2 weeks from now that their offense, not to be clicking on all cylinders mid-season form. Just, like, it's tough. Like, those are the 4 teams, though, that you expect to be exactly where they are right now in the top 4. Outside of that, it's a crapshoot. It could be anybody. I mean,
all right, here's my next question now.
5 through 11, just roll the dice. Throw darts at a board.
Here's my next question now. Do you think there will be a team under 500 to make it to the playoffs?
No.
How many teams go to the playoffs?
6.
Everybody plays everybody.
Everybody
plays
plays
everybody.
I think there's a good chance.
No.
I think we'll have 2 5. Well, I bet we have 2 5-5 teams.
That would be the other possibility. But yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, there's definitely a good possibility that you're gonna have a sub 500 team in the playoffs with 11 squads, and over half of them are going in the playoffs. Now, if this was any other year where we had 16 or 18 teams, and we were sending 8, different. Now it's like over half the league. It's a round robin. Basically, every team's playing each other. Didn't really happen like that in the past. So, yeah, I mean, realistically, you definitely could have a sub 500 team.
Emilio
That's
thinks
gross.
there should only have been 4 teams allowed in the playoffs this year.
Be the NFC
gross.
South.
You
Be
can't
the
have a
NFC
losing
South.
Damn,
Yeah,
imagine that. You skate in with a losing record, then you got to go to MOVA and get crushed. Like, that's just gross.
Now the top 2 seeds get buys.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So you go to either Williamsport or Bedford and get crushed.
Well, chances are one of them would be probably a 2 seed if it wouldn't be.
That's why I said you go to either
Comanche.
one of those. Yep, you go to one of those two. If you're the last seed, you're going to go to the 3, right? Or he's doing some kind of crazy snake format or something. Who knows?
James said 1 and 2 get a bye, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the 6 would go to 3. 4 would play 5.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, but Bedford or the Wildcats would be probably the 2 seed, so one of them's not probably playing.
That's why you're
Is what
going
I'm
to
saying.
one of those two.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you meant like them as like the 3 and the
No.
4 seed. I'm like, there's no way they're going to be the
One
3
of
and the
them
4
are gonna.
seed.
Yeah, one of them are the 3. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Did
I
he
mean,
just
all fucked up.
guarantee we're 1 seed? Did Vinny
As of
just
right now, yeah,
guarantee
I'm
we're the 1
assuming that. Yeah, I'm assuming that's going to be it. Yeah, yeah. The
Vinny, we'll
Vikings will
see
be
how
the
well
1
that
seed.
ages at the end of the season.
It'll be there, Danny.
Do you
my
think
predictions
Emilio has
usually
a
come
point?
true.
It should have been only 4 teams.
What's that?
To not water it down, yeah.
There were some people that still
I'm
wanted
muted right now.
to
Turn off all
8.
the lights.
Like, I
What?
feel like us cutting it
Yeah,
down to 6
hold on.
was at least a pretty good move in the right direction.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just took it as if we're gonna have 8 teams out of 11 making it to the playoffs, you might as well let everybody.
Yeah, then you
I mean, what's the
definitely
point
have
of
sub
having
500
playoffs at
teams
that
in
point?
there. Yeah, just run a big tournament.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
No, I don't think. I mean, 4 is. I mean, I get it because you only have 11, but that wasn't the plan going in either. Like 11 teams. Like again, that had to be shuffled at the last minute, didn't it?
I mean, I can see 4. Like, I can see 4. I can see 6 too. I mean, it's not like, because you're sending 6, and that's over half the league. It's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like 6 is a pretty solid number for most, shit like that.
I mean, I think it keeps your quality of football better longer throughout the season. Like if it's top 4 and I'm out halfway through, you know what I mean? Like guys are gonna become disinterested and so forth.
Top 4, you essentially just got 2 rounds. You got semifinal and championship.
Right.
Like I said, I could see either 4 or 6. I mean, I think 6 in this league where it's pay to play. Yeah, I think that's probably a better number than 4. You know what I mean? Gives some teams something to work for. I mean, yeah, you might get in there and end up going somewhere and getting stomped the fuck out, but who cares? You know what I mean? Like, at least you got there, you worked for it, you got into the playoffs. I mean, but yeah,
Frankie
4. I
Camacho
mean,
asked, why can't the Buffaloes be the number 1 seed?
They're not there yet.
And with the puff of smoke, Billy Minnick said that you should have saw the season script.
I mean, there's nothing saying that the Buffaloes can't be the 1 seed. I mean, in the past, like I know past isn't, now, but until you beat the Vikings, you can't be on top of the Vikings if you're both undefeated. That's all I'm saying. In a couple of weeks, they'll get their shot.
Damn, I must have upset Kasim.
And the Vikings went on the road, beat Wilkes-Barre, went on the road and beat the Wildcats. To answer your question further, Frankie. So, I don't really know who the Buffaloes beat of quality at this point in the season yet. Mustangs, I think we're one of them. They beat the Raptors too. But yeah, I
No,
mean, they're just saying you can't.
what was it? Oh, I guess you guys answered that already. Frankie said, "How did the Vikings become the team to beat now?"
Did we answer that? Oh yeah, they went on the road to Wilkes-Barre and they went on the road to Williamsport. That's right. Did answer that.
Hey James,
Yeah.
you recall beating the Comanche with the shock in Dixon City, right? You remember that game?
Which time?
Oh, okay, cool.
Was
We're on
that
the
was
same
that the
page.
was that the 5 fumble game?
I think it was, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all
Oh,
I
yeah,
hear
that
about every time
was.
I
That
hear
was
about
Kasim.
that.
You remember that game? Kasim said I never beat him. You're crazy.
We
That
won
was the 5 fumble game.
53-51.
But that's what they'll say. It was a 5 fumble game. Not they took a loss. Not we caused 5 fumbles.
I think I actually have a picture from that game. Yeah.
Of course
I have
you
a picture
do.
with Q and Trey Campbell after that game.
Man had 5 fumbles and you made him get a picture with you. That's fucked up.
I mean that was a good game. We blew a lead, right, going into half, and then they just beat the brakes off us in the third quarter, and then we came back and won. I still talk to Rob Bradley at work about that because Rob Bradley was running his mouth on the sideline going, "Oh, you're the president of the league and you still can't beat us," and then we won.
Damn. Talk about your
Winning
all-time
is the
backfired.
best revenge, eh, James?
Winning is a smooth elixir.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. That's one of my favorite sayings. Or best served as a win.
Like the bet when you said it the first time. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
Nah, I don't think so.
Nope.
Except in sports, hoping the Caps lose tomorrow. Because if they lose, my Red Wings are in the playoffs. So I'm rooting for the Flyers. Flyers fans out there, don't let me down. Please. Because I need you to win, or else my wings don't get in.
Do you just hate sports?
No. My
'Cause
mother
your teams are
my mother was
horrible that
born
you
and raised in
pick.
Flint. And when we were visiting Detroit one time, we went by the ruins of the old Joe Louis Arena right while it was being demolished. But you could still see like the facade. Like it was still standing. It wasn't fully demolished yet. And I'm
Did you get
like,
your picture
wow,
taken with RoboCop?
the moment, what?
Did you get your picture taken with RoboCop?
No. No, he
Facade
was
was a
off
very
patrol that
fitting
day. But
word for
anyways.
today.
I was standing there and I'm like, the history that must have gone in this building was amazing. And from that day on, I've been a Red Wings fan. And I do not think I've told anyone that story before. So no, I do not just hate sports. I am a Red Wings fan.
You could stop saying that. I think you've gone
Wear
through
it proudly.
enough.
Hey, I'll have to say our mascot is better than whatever the fly. I love Gritty. I love Gritty, but he is creepy. Our cute octopus is better than Gritty.
Gritty.
And I'm sorry, Gritty. I'm sorry, Gritty.
They just made that mascot up.
What,
I'm
Gritty?
glad
Yeah.
you're apologizing because Gritty probably watches this.
Yeah, guy. a guy I went to high school with was actually the designer for Gritty.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to ask, what drugs was he on when he designed Gritty?
He
He was
actually
in Thor's
was-
shed.
he
I was
actually
just gonna say he came fresh out of the shed. He
he actually
crawled
does
out of
draw
there. What do you
for
mean?
like
So how did he come up with
Metallica,
the
a
idea
bunch
for
of
Gritty?
people. I don't have that answer for you. I just I went to high school with him. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. It was cool to see the process and then like take him out there and as they introduced Gritty, and it was cool to see him get excited about the fact that he got to create something like that. He does a lot of like background art. His name is Brian Allen. He does a lot of background art for like Metallica and a bunch of different bands and crazy 420 festivals and all kinds of like digital art like that. Pinball machine graphics. He's huge into doing graphics design for different pinball machines and stuff.
And he's a pinball wizard.
Yes. Although I
All
think
right.
that's more of the Who than Metallica.
That's it for us.
We will.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
See you
thank you
guys
for
later.
tuning in to another episode of Inside the GEFA. We will see you again right back here next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your GEFA news. Of course, I'll be posting throughout the week all the breaking news on our socials. And just a quick, can I plug something for Special Olympics really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have two announcements for Special Olympics. The first one, on the 27th of this month, we are holding our first annual torch run down at Kirby Park to kick off the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Cherry Festival. It is a 3-mile run, walk, whatever, but it all goes, I believe, into Kirby Park where we are going to kick off the festival.
When is that, Danny?
It is a torch run to
No,
kick
when
off
is
the
it?
Cherry Festival in Wilkes-Barre down in Kirby Park.
Yeah, when?
It's the 27th. Now,
What time?
what time? I can look at the flyer.
Oh man, Danny, if you're gonna do plugs, get it together.
Got it.
What was the other thing, Danny? You said there was two things.
Let me put up this one first. Here we go. 2024 Wilkes-Barre Main Street Torch Run. It is at 160 Market Street in Wilkes-Barre, and it begins at Kirby Park, and it ends at Kirby Park. It is 8:30 to 10 a.m. is the check-in, and then 10 a.m. is when the fun run actually starts. Now you can sign up at specialolympicspa.org. Hold on, I think I have the. You can go to my Facebook page at Daniel Morales. I'm holding all the medals, and I'll have a link to that all in my Facebook. Also, we have a softball game that I will be calling. And it's not so much as fundraiser as you guys can come out. That is the day after. That is the 28th of April. I need to look up the.
Is
Here we
it like
go.
a tournament for softball or
I'm looking it up right now. Hold on. See, last year we held it at Marywood. And I don't know why they're not letting us hold it there this year. If you go to the Special Olympics Facebook page, the Special Olympics Pennsylvania Facebook page, it has all the details. You know, yesterday we had our big Joe Paterno fun run down at Penn State University. And as someone who visited there last year but was unable to this year, that is always a good time. And I cannot find the torch run. That's cherry blossom. I cannot find the. Okay, I'll look at the. I'll
Softball
look
game.
for information for the softball game, and I will get back to you because I cannot see the flyer at the moment. But as soon as I get it, hold on. I have a different idea. Here we go. Got it. Okay. I cannot find the information, but I will get it to you next week with more details as we are 1 week out. But okay, and what's so funny, Thor?
Oh, Danny, you crack me up.
I'm trying to look for the information, and I just had
All
the
right,
idea
let's
to plug it. But
let's go.
that's it for
Dan.
today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. You've heard enough from me. James, Thor, you got any last words?
No.
Appreciate it, Dan the man.
All right. Thanks for coming out. See you next week. Bye.